How will AJ Styles respond to Samoa Joe? Is Becky Lynch mad that Charlotte has weaseled her way into the SummerSlam main event? And what is going on between Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Jeff Hardy? These are the questions we need answering from a television program known as WWE SmackDown. And thankfully, thank goodness, the company stayed the course. And around about 24 hours ago, we did indeed get this. I watched it. I know what's going down. And because I know what's going down, I can up those damn downs. Whoosh. Let's go. SmackDown began a bit problematic for me because I don't think Randy Orton is going to be able to get his new character over in the way that he hopes. It's still good. I still enjoyed it, so I get 10 up. But Orton, I'm going to tell you this. If you kind of want to keep healing it up, I don't think the fans are buying it. It was quite short, all things considered, but the man did come out to give us an update on all things Randy Orton. I appreciate that. I like to know what you're doing in your day-to-day and also, underline the fact that he's going to keep beating up Jeff Hardy. Once again told us he's doing all this because he doesn't believe the fans respect him and he's sick of them putting other superstars on a pedestal. So what he's going to do is he's going to beat them up so badly that we, the audience, are going to want to change the channel. And I don't believe that is going to happen for 1 second. You think I think, Randy Orton, that you're going to do something so devastating and severe on WWE programming? I'll go, oh, this is too much for me. You're not allowed to do that. Don't try and pull the wool over my eyes. What do I look like? A sheep? Nobody really hates Randy Orton, even when he's going through his list of achievements. I kind of felt like everybody was like, oh yeah, you did do that, Randy. You're great. You're a true WWE superstar. And there was never really a sensation that anybody wanted to see him lose or for a guy to come out, just wailing him for a while. And that's what being a bad guy is all about. I think you're too big, Orton. I think you're too big now. I think you've got into that magical land where you can just do whatever you want and people will go, yeah. There's still time, of course, and it was still good, but there was a bit of a disconnect here. Also, I can't be sure, but did he tell us that he wants to be called RKO? You cannot call yourself RKO. That cannot be your new name. Your name can't be Randy Knockout. Sound like a schmearl. Charlotte and Becky Lynch then caught up to discuss what happened last week because clearly they haven't chatted since then. Charlotte apologised for working her way into the SummerSlam main event and eventually Becky Lynch went, look, you know what, I forgive you. You're just one more person I can beat. And then they questioned if they were going to be able to stay on the same page because they've got a tag team match later. And as they both said, they will be able to because they're not Sasha Banks and Bayley. Does that mean we're getting that fight at the Evolution pay-per-view? I tell you this right now. No, thank you. Also, given the focus and the story here, the match they had against the Iconics, Carmella was on commentary and at one point Charlotte actually tagged herself in. As you can imagine, that pissed off Becky Lynch a little bit. She got over it, and then, Charlotte locked in the figure of 8. I think it was on Peyton Royce. I mean, it's the Iconics. They kind of blur into one. And Charlotte and Becky Lynch, they were victorious. Before the match started, before even a punch had been thrown, the Iconics were shouting stuff at Becky Lynch like, oh, you're living in Charlotte's shadow, and you're always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I don't know what that has to do with wrestling, but they said it. Anyway, given that did happen, Becky Lynch better be winning at SummerSlam. I don't mind you tearing her down, WWE, as long as you build her right back up. And don't you dare even think about turning her heel. You can kind of smell it, and I don't like how it smells. That would make as much sense as me all of a sudden being over here. Why am I over here? Well, because I just thought it would be a good idea. But it wasn't. I've ruined the aspect ratio. The New Day then interviewed themselves, and I realised they've now entered some weird space where they can do whatever they want, and it's probably going to be entertaining. Began with Renee Young telling them how great they were, but eventually they were like, no, we don't need you. Go away. And then Kofi Kingston put on a blonde wig and a jacket, and I think he called himself Kramer Kingman, something like that. And then he interviewed Xavier Woods and Big E. This was absolutely nuts, but it was also very fun. The Miz has also accepted Daniel Bryan's challenge for SummerSlam. No idea why he's changed his mind. That wasn't explained at this point, but this was just a little bit to tell us that while The Miz is on the set of Miz and Mrs., Byron Saxton is going to interview him later on. No up, no down. I'm just filling you in. I can't believe I'm going to say this either, but I am going to see this, so sit down and prepare yourself. Also, if you're not already sat down and you're watching Ups and Downs stood up, that's a bit weird. But yeah, it was then time for the AJ Styles interview, and I was pumped, and I was prepared to see how he was going to respond to Samoa Joe's dastardly comments from 7 days ago. You know what? After watching it, it's getting it down. Straight up, who wrote this? Instead of AJ Styles marching to the ring and say, Samoa Joe, I can't believe you said all that. I'm going to whip your ass so bad at the pay-per-view. He went, yeah, you're right. I do sacrifice my family a lot. I'm on the road, and I really do need to be a better father. Don't say that. Don't say that at all. Say you're the best. Say you can do everything. I can be a wrestler. I can be WWE champ. I can be a family man because, wait for it, I'm phenomenal. Don't say you want to be there for your family, but you can't. that means you suck. AJ also tied this into his friendship with Samoa Joe that's lasted for the last 10 years, and there was no need to reference that either. That's not a thing in WWE. I know you were scrapping out in TNA and being awesome all the time back then, but no one else does, so why all of a sudden am I now to think you're friends? This was just silly, and unsurprisingly, Samoa Joe was in the back laughing his head off. Of course he was. Of course he was. Now, I got AJ Styles, some little wimp, and I want to see the big bad Samoan dude whoop his ass. This was absolutely ridiculous, and maybe I'm being a bit too harsh. Maybe you all loved it, but hey, that's why we watch Ups and Downs for opinions. And then there's the comment section where you can go, well, that was becoming an alien. Rusev then apologized to Lana and said he was going to make up for his mistakes last week and be in her corner when she's taken on Zelina Vega, because clearly WWE has no new ideas. Aiden English then turned up and reiterated his apology, but then was told, hey man, you're not allowed to come to ringside, you bad news Brown. And then we basically got the exact same thing that we did get on the last episode of WWE SmackDown. I mean, Almas kept getting involved and that pissed off Rusev, so he chased after him. And eventually in all the fracas, Aiden English came out, he pushed Andrade into the ropes, that screwed Lana, Zelina Vega hit the knees, 1, 2, 3, Lana loses again. Could we have not done something else here? Anything else? We couldn't have come up with any new ideas? Wait, hang on. No, we couldn't. I've just got it through in my fake earpiece that isn't there. We couldn't do anything else because we couldn't be bothered. Shinsuke Nakamura though, what a treat that man is. If I was eating an ice cream sundae and they put a cherry on top, I'd look at that cherry and it wouldn't surprise me if it was Shinsuke Nakamura's face. Up. Cut a promo on Jeff Hardy, who everybody hates at the moment. I kind of feel like I hate Jeff Hardy. You know, just to be involved, I want to be part of the mob mentality. But he said, even though he's already been erased, Nakamura is going to finish off what's left of him. And that's a delete reference, you know, delete. Brother Nero, you know it, you see it on Raw every now and then. Maybe you don't care, maybe you do, I don't know. But that was good. It was good. Nakamura, you're the man. And then R-Truth and Ty Dillinger approached Shinsuke Nakamura. And R-Truth was all like, oh, I'm going to beat Carmella because I understand that's what I've got to do to take you on, or some stupid stuff like that. It didn't really work. I get that's R-Truth's thing, but this was a bad idea. You know, not a good one. He's had good ones, Little Jimmy. That was good. And the Money in the Bank thing, that was good. This one not so good. Mostly because it felt forced. Anyway, we're going to get a match between those two people later. Shinsuke Nakamura versus R-Truth, the pro wrestling fight you never knew you needed. The Miz interview was next and I enjoyed the concept. He was on the set of Miz and Mrs. as Brian Saxton asked him every single WWE question you can think of. But the point is basically this. The Miz wants to be world champion. He thinks he deserves to be world champion. And Daniel Bryan keeps getting in the way. Therefore, he's going to beat Daniel Bryan, get him out of the way, and he can then go on to becoming the new man. Halfway through this, though, Bryan turned up and he just started beating the snot out of the Miz, and I wasn't expecting that. So I was a bit like, oh, this is fucking sick. I mean, Daniel Bryan here. But I say he beat him up. Daniel Bryan tried, but then the Miz got a vase and smashed it into his face, and then he just ran off. Eventually, Daniel Bryan stood up and went, well, I tried. And he kind of moseyed off. Anyway, we are getting out of SummerSlam, and really could be the best match on the show. Nakamura then beat R-Truth. Okay, I don't really know why this happened. I mean, it's nice to see R-Truth back. I know he had an injury, and he's returned, but it's a bit like this, staring off into the distance and imagining the end of times. Up. And then the Bludgeon Brothers just beat 3 dudes in a handicap match. Like, it was nice having Harper and Rowan back, but where you been? You should have been on TV more. I know you don't decide that, but so we could establish how important the tag team titles were. So yeah, this was kind of just there because you were like, oh, it's those two with the beards. But I do like the tag team champions, so it's getting up. The New Day finished the show though by beating the Bar in just a very, very nice wrestling match to win the tag team tournament. And of course, that means they're going to go on to take on the Bludgeon Brothers at some point for the tag team titles. Get it up. Much like last week, this was just solid and it felt like a wrestling bout that was actually a sporting contest as 2 premier teams tried to get the win because they both want to win the tag team titles. Yeah, that works. We don't do that enough if I'm completely honest, and eventually Big E hit the midnight hour. Now that's that. 1, 2, 3. New Day and Bludgeon Bros at some point in the probably SummerSlam, right? Probably SummerSlam. Now, I'm not sure how I actually feel about seeing the Bludgeon Brothers and the New Day again because we have seen it a lot, but I'm not going to judge too quickly. I'm going to wait and see because maybe I'll enjoy it. Maybe they've come up with something new. Maybe there's a new team waiting in the wings that's going to interfere. I don't know. Can't call it. We just have to hold on to our sides and ride the train into Crazy Town because, as we know, Crazy Town is where all the answers are awaiting. And with that, SmackDown ended, and I thought to myself, it was a pretty decent show, but kind of lacked some of the oomph that maybe some of the older episodes have had. But we're on the road to SummerSlam. I'm excited about SummerSlam, apart from when I heard that it could be 7 hours long. Why do you do this, WWE? I don't want to do 7 hours of anything. I mean anything. But we still got a couple of weeks to go, so let's not judge it too quickly. Huzzah for the king. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's episode of WWE SmackDown. Like, share, and subscribe. Go and read some articles on WhatCulture.com and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE, like Roman Reigns are. My name is Simon Miller. This was WhatCulture and the Ups and Downs series. Make sure you go and watch Raw Ups and Downs. And why not just pick a random date and go watch an old episode of Ups and Downs? You never know what joyous things are awaiting you. Probably me, my face, giving things up and down. That's the concept of the show.